Hello, Ran here, aka Mac, and welcome. Recently, we saw in Around the Verse how the planetary outposts are coming along, and in this video, I'm going to take a deeper look into what they are, what we can expect in 3.0, and what kind of gameplay they'll bring with them. These are to be the smallest of the building types, and although they can probably be scaled to large buildings, the initial release will likely see just smaller units. Now what we see here is proof of concept in its simplest form. They're only in grey box, they're not final by any means, so there's a lot more work coming for them. Now in terms of the exterior, they need to be modular so you can swap, they can add, they can remove things until they get the shape they want. They've been grouped together into prefabs to make it easier to make different layouts quicker. They then add roof pieces, pipes to make the silhouette more interesting, and then block them out and adjust them slightly to make them fit more naturally. When they first started testing the outposts on the planet, they quickly realised that plonking them down on uneven surfaces, they looked really odd, with some of the sections floating and others just being buried. So they created some legs and feet to allow them to be placed anywhere on these planets and look natural. But because of this, they needed to figure out a way of players gaining access to these places, so they created ramps. Unfortunately, the ramps were too long due to them being on a 15% angle, so they settled on stairs. Now, the cool thing about it is that ice, snow, sand, and hopefully, I'm hoping for vegetation like leaves and so forth, will build up over time. And this will all change at runtime. So, for example, if a sandstorm was to come through, then sand will gather up within the doorways of these outposts. Things like lighting, atmosphere, weather, and aging, all of these aspects will affect how they will look too. They are currently fleshing out the material library using these tiles, same for wear and dirt, but these can be tested using the lighting to ensure that it all looks and works together along with the PBR textures. Now as the building set matures, they will add more variety, and we will see more unique designs, including different materials, different colours, and different add-ons. Obviously the colours as well themselves, they're all white, they all look like they just belong in a hospital. And we got to see the interiors as well, which is pretty cool. We did see a lot of the rooms containing mining consoles, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a main thing within these or if it was just a test bed. But some of them had workbenches, we saw some office desks, monitors and screens, really cool stuff. They are actually set dressing now, as we heard in the most recent ATV, and it does look very cool in there. I mean, it sounds daft, but it's nice to see they have windows. It will be incredible looking over the rest of the outposts any time of day, or just looking over the landscape at the planet changing throughout the day and the light settings. They look quite spacious, which is good to see. I'm sure we'll have some firefights inside them, but also interiors will have rust and dust, giving the presence of age and use. Now for 3.0, we are, I think, going to have 3 variations. I believe one of them was mining. I'm not 100% sure of that, but it makes sense seeing all these mining consoles. The other one was storage, and then hydroponics. These outposts will be scattered across the 4 planets and many of the 12 moons found within the Stanton system. And in order to get us interacting and visiting these places, expect missions to draw you to these places. Missions like hauling cargo and supplies to and from the outposts, responding to distress beacons, maybe protecting them. Maybe NPCs located in these outposts will request your services, so you can come down and he'll give you a mission. But possibly taking on mining jobs in the Prospector as well. If it's a mining outpost or a mining colony, you will need to, you can get some work and be paid to go and mine there and then give them the ore that you find. Personally, I think each of the add-ons on top of these outposts, so these little bits that are on top of and just next to, are part of the piping and the Item 2.0 system, so I would expect these places to house components like power plants, life support, gravity and so forth. So if you're planning to gain access to these outposts, you could destroy or sabotage these areas, either forcing the inhabitants out to repair them, or just making it easier to get in, like turning off the light so you can hide in the shadows better. Other missions I'd like to see could include things like investigating the disappearance of inhabitants, requiring you to find clues to the locations or the whereabouts of the inhabitants and finding out what happened to them, but maybe things like running security due to increased pirate or vandal attacks. Some of these outposts will be inhabited, whereas others may be derelict. 3.0 will offer a lot of gameplay opportunities when it comes to the surface outposts, and what we see in 3.0 will just be the very beginning of what's to come, which is very exciting. Eventually, I would love to see these outposts maybe being inhabited by creatures, sort of alien creatures maybe, that you have to fight off and ward off. It could even be a case in 3.0 where, similar to the sort of Skyrim style Elder Scrolls, where you got to go and help clear some space rats who are causing havoc. Who knows? Anyway, this was just an update as to the planetary outposts, what we can expect in 3.0 for these outposts. They do bring a lot more gameplay than just being in space or just running around an empty barren planet. Let me know your thoughts. What missions do you want to see regarding outposts? Let me know because I want to get hyped. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, Twitter and Instagram, and I shall see you next time. Remember, courtesy of my patrons, I'm giving away a Star Citizen starter package. Commenting on any of my videos throughout the course of April and being a subscriber to the channel will enter you for the draw, which I shall draw at the end of the month, after which I'll start a new giveaway. Tweeting, sharing and following me on other platforms found below won't better your chances, but it would be super awesome of you.